certain elements of time off. I can get more time off when I open my own practice. Not true. In most cases, it ain't true. And am I going to make more money, and the variations of that. We need to redefine all those things with the following statement is, what you're really looking for is to be happy, aren't you? Like, yes, money is important, and yes, service is important, but you want to be that and happy. So if the whole profession pushes you into this place of opening your own practice, but you're miserable when you're doing it, what the hell's the point? So Dr. Parks, in a roundabout way, I'm certainly not going to sit in the fence here, but your question was, should every chiropractor open their own practice? And this is a firm, categorical, with passion, no. And boy, I'm going to save you so much pain in your life by hearing that. I have seen too many people pushed into open their own practice because the powers that be, or the profession at large, or whatever it is, made them feel that they were only worthy when they did that. And all they were met with unfulfilled promises of what they thought it was like, and unhappiness really at the end of the day. So the first thing is absolutely every chiropractor should not open their own practice. I've already explained there's a well-trodden path. We're just about the only profession in the world where it's like, if you don't open your own practice, you're less than. We're just about the only profession about that looks at it that way. So that's the first thing I wanted to give you lots more context on it. And then hopefully I'm gonna segue now into like 5 little things that you should consider before you open your own practice. I know that wasn't the title of this podcast, but the question came from should every one of them. But I've just seen so much heartache in the profession by both things, people assuming that they're going to get what they wanted to get out of opening a business and not getting it, etc. Number 5 segues into kind of 3 little things, but you should be considering these things before you open your own practice, and once you have, you should also consider it. Number 1 is personality. Like for many of you, you might be a little bit later in years and you've learned a lot more about yourself, but when you're first setting out in the profession, you might not learned this about yourself. But from a personality perspective, I'm going to go into one key thing, and that is to own a practice and to build a very successful practice goes hand in hand, as like I've said earlier, with building a team. For some people on the planet, the thought of managing a big team or having that responsibility sends them into cold shivers. There's nothing wrong with that. It's self-awareness that leads you to happiness. But what I hope that I'm able to give a little insight in today is that if you want the big dream, the big practice, the multiple practice, you ain't gonna do it alone. So sometimes you have to consider whether you even want to manage people. Did you know that of all the businesses on the planet, when surveyed how many, I think if you take all the amount of employees per business and average it out across all the businesses in the entire United States, I believe that it's about three employees. That's how difficult it is. That includes the multinationals, by the way. So the companies with 5,000 people, they're in that stat. So that just shows how difficult it is to build a team, how difficult it is to, interact on that level. You may have a higher self-awareness of your whether you're painfully introverted. By the way, introverts change the world. So that's not you can be introvert, extrovert too, by the way. You might be on stage, but actually you don't like building a team because that does need a certain level of extroversion in some way, shape or form, although many studies show some of the greatest leaders were introverts, by the way. So knowing yourself, your personality. If you know that you never want to work with people, you never want to build a team, the answer's in that. If you have been involved in team sports and things like that your whole life, you're probably going to do really well at building a business. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, within point number 5, is your ambition levels. Again, knowing yourself, knowing your own ambition levels, and there's nothing wrong with this because you might want to do other things, also plays into it. If you want the massive, big dream practice, don't go into it thinking that it's going to be anything but hard work. It's hard work. Of course, you can get good at creating systems and doing all those things, but that might change your decision from the word go. If it's more simplistic life you want, you may not want to open your own practice because you ain't going to find it if you want the big dream and the simplistic type life. it's hard work. It's a challenge. There are challenges. The more challenges you are, most of the time, the more successful you are. The bigger your success gets, the bigger your challenges. There's not less challenges the more money and success you have. There's bigger challenges, and that just might not be your thing. So understanding A, your personality, B, your ambition levels. And another key thing to kind of factor in now, whether you should open your own practice or not, is your other interests. So, I work with a lot of associates, and a couple come to mind now who this could work both for opening a practice and against opening a practice. But sometimes somebody will say should not open a practice because they have an extreme interest in something, professional sportsmen, or actually quite a few people I've worked with that are very into their horses, extremely competitive riders, etc. So for them, they may feel that open your own practice, and they give you more time to do that. When we actually look at the facts, it gives you less time, specifically beginning to do that. So your other interests. Now, another segue in other interests is your other business interests. So for me, I love doing property. I love running other businesses. I love doing consulting and coaching and serving in this platform too. So to be in full-time practice, if I was the operator, that would be a challenge for me. There's one of the causes of tiredness is something called unfulfilled purpose. Unfulfilled purpose. So while you may have a passion in a certain area, you may feel that you may be able to fulfill that passion by opening your own practice, but it's the exact opposite effect, because you have less time, you have more on your plate, and you don't get to do the thing you really love doing: windsurfing, kite surfing, serving in orphanages in Kenya, climbing Kilimanjaro, doing passion work like that. Because often you may have had more time to do that and served because you're happier, served at a bigger level in that environment. So that helps you serve at a bigger level in your chiropractic environment by being able to do that, by not being the business owner, and you end up making more money anyway. So I hope that gives you a bit of a insight into some of the context towards, it's not a straight answer. It depends. Should you open your own practice? It depends. I have interest in saying both ways before some course of that, as I've covered already. But I will absolutely say, to answer your straight, go back to Dr. Parks' question is, you should not every chiropractor, I absolutely believe this deep in my heart, that every chiropractor on the planet should not open their own practice. It is well spoken about within many business books that not everyone should and is cut out to open a business. They could. I believe every person can run their own business, but that's different from being happy and running their own business. I hope that makes sense. Every person can run their own business, but not every person should, because we want them to be happy and run the business. I love and appreciate you all. Thanks for checking in today, and look forward to seeing you in the next podcast. Tune in. Make sure, if you're on YouTube with me, click the like button. Make sure the button's on so you get all the notifications. And I promise to give you regularly some great value from some of the busiest practices that I personally own on the planet. So also from the busiest practice owners that I work with on the planet. And I literally am one of the biggest testing sites of marketing campaigns and sales strategies, etc. on the planet. And I hope to give you those gems through this platform. So please make sure you like or subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. See you guys soon. Hey docs, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found it helpful. And if you haven't yet checked out one of my free books, New Patient Avalanche, how to get a ton of new patients in your practice, or Practice Growth Speaking Secrets, how to do lunch and learns and corporate talks, and how to get people to come to you for informational talks, click on the link below, grab a book. They're absolutely free. All you do is pay for shipping. I think it's $7.95 or something, and you get all the templates and everything you need, and cool bonuses within them to fulfill those things like downloads, etc. Click on the link below, grab one of those books, and I hope it's helpful. See you soon.